You're gonna start it. You gotta start it like the way Car says start.
When we start.
That nigga put his whole throat into it. He was like, start!
Joseph was like, yeah. Ooh. You didn't even check your cherry yet? Dumbass.
That nigga waffle like, nah. Oh man, I love that shit.
This is. Don't get to this, Joni. You don't want none of this. Bro. Stay young. My body's betraying me.
What you mean, man? I'm trying to get like you.
There's no need. Do I got?
You get the sauce, and you built like Superman. What you mean?
Like Superman.
You probably have more sauce in me because I don't got drip. I don't dress well. And all you gotta do is go to the gym. Okay. I'm good. Yeah. I did not do that. I'm a low class warrior. How do I do this?
It's a party, in the Bacardi. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull this back. I don't even know if the chat is saying stuff. I missed anything. If anyone said anything, I missed it. So say it again. What's up, guys? Shoulder hurt and shit. Wait, he's my another drink, catch us in the mall, man, they watch us ball, man, I like them. Bad, shawty, bad it, tall, man, I watch you. Flex, I sup on her neck, man, I watch you. Flex, I sup on her. Finally, catch you again. Yeah, it's been a while, man. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, we're here for that, Joe. Zodiac, what's up? Okay, I saw it. Yes, I missed the first comment. I saw it. What's up, Zodiac? But all right. How do I start this again? I usually see like what a beautiful doing, right? All right, so let's let me all right. 3, 2, 1. What a beautiful doing. Welcome to the 9th episode of the Morioh Joe Radio broadcast. I'm sad. I'm very sad. I'm depressed because JoJo Part 8 is officially done. We technically did do a Part 8 podcast already. That was the 8th part, but now that we are actually done, it's time to talk about this part in its totality from start to finish, dive into certain things. I do think we touched on a couple of stuff already, so I don't want to rehash it. You can go back to the last episode and see some things, but I do have a couple of different topics today. But before I even hop into that, hey man, how's everyone doing? What's up, Pat? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Had to babysit my cousin's dog for a little bit. Kind of missed that little nigga. No, what you mean? Dogs are wonderful.
Oh, brother. I'm not having this argument again today. Keep that mud away from me. I'm Dio. I don't like them because they subservient. I kick them. I'm kidding. But, Sydney, how you doing, man?
It's Thursday.
Jody, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, I guess. I'm trying not to get COVID while I'm working at this gym.
Shit. It's like bad over there? These cases going up? I think it's bad everywhere. I don't know what we're doing.
Not a lot of cases, but there's like maybe
Unsanitary
120 people in like a small ass gym, and they gotta make sure they're wearing masks and shit.
And they not listening.
No,
And they not fucking listening.
But it's dumb though. How can you expect people to go hard in the gym and wear a mask, and even basketball? It don't make sense.
None at all.
Get your breathing up.
Get your breathing up.
Oh, snap. But all right. Before I guess before we really dive into anything Part 8 related, I don't think we had a chance together on stream to really speak about the Stone Ocean anime announcement and anything that you've seen, any commentary you want to make on it. Excited and everything like that. Like, how do you feel about it? Like what you've seen, like from trailers, from like the voice actor, like all that stuff. Like, do you have any comments? We can just move on if you don't have anything to say about it.
Oh wait,
It's
what you
getting
mean?
watched. That's all we got. That's all I got to say. It's getting watched. I ain't look at the truth, but it's getting watched.
Okay.
Listen, all gas, no brakes, baby.
Yes, sir.
Jolene is here.
It's time.
That trailer, all I heard was "Ora, ora, 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 ora." And I was like, listen, I've been waiting since 2014 to hear a female say "Ora, ora, ora." Like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
this shit about to save anime.
Mm-hmm.
Anime been in the fucking toilet in 2021. Fuck.
Oh man, but yeah, like this is my favorite part. So like I'm been stoked. Like, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to see her flick the bean episode 1. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
but
they're not showing that.
what do you mean? I got get the Blu-ray uncensored. the Blu-
This thing is a feed.
the
They're
other
not showing
camera
that.
angle. Y'all didn't hear it. I want to hear the. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hear the macaroni
Wow.
in the pot. Yeah, I mean.
Wow.
I need that. So, yeah. All right. Let me stop. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. I thought the trailer was really good. I like the. I don't know if it's her theme. I think people have been like associating the song they used with her. I don't know if it's her theme. I don't know if we know that. Is that confirmed or not? But it slaps though. I don't know if it's better than Giorno's theme. That piano go dummy though. Honestly, it really
Hey,
do. But it's
it
good.
don't
It's
matter
nice,
if it's
but
better
nice.
than Jorno's theme or not. I'm gonna say it is.
Yeah, you know, fair enough. Fuck Giorno. He ugly. He ugly. But all right. Without further ado, let's hop into the Part 8 discussion. So, first of all, without getting to anything too specific, just give me your general thoughts on the part now that it's concluded, that you finished it. What are your general thoughts on it?
It good.
Thank you. Want to elaborate a little bit? Or
GOOD.
what about you, Pat? You gotta be stopped.
The part had the potential to be my number one part as I was reading it. It was one of the best ongoing reading experiences I've ever had. It unfortunately it didn't end as strongly as I liked, but that didn't mean that the ending was bad, not at all. It's just not what I was expecting. So like I was putting super high omega expectations on Araki. I don't think that was fair to him, but I was content with what we got. No, it was enjoyable. I'll definitely reread it again this year just to see how I really feel about it, because I'm still debating on where I put it in my top 3. Like it's like neck and neck with part 4 right now.
Okay. That makes sense to me. Joni, what about you?
It's a 10 for me.
Yes, sir.
I'd have to agree with Pat that it was probably my favorite reading experiences, like since 2019 maybe. And I don't think it had like a bad chapter or chapter I didn't enjoy until like maybe the end. And like his art, it's really weird. Like for this part specifically, he went crazy with the double spreads, especially with the last art. So I feel like this was his artistic peak. I don't know. I might be the only one thinking that.
I mean, his art style evolves over. I don't know if some people I know have a preference for the more like less like B Shonen type artwork, because they're kind of more like effeminate now. They used to be like mad brolic because of like, you know, the hyper masculinity of the 80s and whatnot. But I like how it looks. I think I kind of agree with that. But I do think there's a lot of charm to like how we used to kind of draw and whatnot back in the day and stuff. So.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's just that it looks better now in black and white. Like, I don't feel like I need color to read JoJo now.
That's fair. For me, I would say, like, obviously I enjoyed the part. I do think that we'll get to this when we get to this, but I just have questions about the ending that I want to see if you could figure out more so than like I'm not mad at it, but I do think it was kind of probably the weaker portion of it. I think overall it was a great reading experience. It was my favorite ongoing for approaching 3 years, even though it was monthly, right? So like I got nothing but good things to say about it, but yeah, it's sad that it's done. Sad that it's done. And since you guys already went into it, I think for me, if in terms of where I would rank it personally out of all of the parts, I think right now I have it at three. I'm at three right now. So I still have Stone Ocean first, and like Pat said, for me, honestly, like when I was reading it, when I was going through it, it really did have potential to be my favorite part. Like it was on course on the course for that. Like, and it's still up there. Like I might wrestle with it a little bit. Like you never know. You might ask me, it might be my second favorite part tomorrow. You never know, but. I still got Stone Ocean as the king. And then, again, depending on what day you ask me, it could be Jojolia at 2. I'm going to put it at 3 for now, but I got the best part 5. No, I'm kidding, not part 5. I'm joking.
Mhm.
I like Battle Tendency, so it's up there. It's for
Yes,
me.
sir.
I'm a
It's
Joseph
too funny,
Stan.
man.
Yeah, I'm a Joseph Stan, so I really like part 2 a lot. But where would you rank it, Timmy, if you had to rank it somewhere?
Shit, man. You know how I feel about that damn fucking writing question. Um, shit. Um, I would shit. I fuck. Man, I hate this shit. I would say like probably
Give me a ballpark.
football parts. Let me stop for real. I would say it probably in
This is really Zimmy
my
today.
top five. Even though that's not saying much because there's only fucking 8 parts, but yeah, it was up there for me because I most definitely liked it more than fucking part 5. I would say I actually would say I liked it more than parts 1 and 2. Uh, did I like it more than
Thank
part
you for the
3?
follow, but why was that backwards? Why was that inverted? Sorry, keep going.
Uh, do I like it more than part 3? I'll probably give it the edge. Yeah, and, part 4 is my favorite. So yeah, it sits nestles right in that fucking top 5 for me at least. Now don't tell me to put in no chronological order because that I'm just not doing. Sorry.
I was never gonna do that. But okay, since it's nobody's favorite part, what would it have had to do, in your opinion, or for you personally, for it to become your favorite part?
Um, fix the fuck it. I'm done writing this shit ending.
Yeah.
And and don't get me wrong though, I have absolutely no heat with the ending itself. It's just as you said to me, Eddie or Stream, it felt abrupt as fuck. It felt like we could have easily fit in an additional like 5 chapters in between that. Right? Like so the actual final arc, the final battle, I don't want to speak too much about it because you're going that's a whole topic on the list. I actually don't have no heat. I actually liked it a lot, but just the way that it ended, it kind of feels like some video games I played where shit. If any one of y'all had the original Xbox, Sudeki come outside. Second, you beat the final boss and the credits just start rolling. Like the second his health hits 0, the credits rolling. That's it. You back to the main menu. That's what it felt like. It felt abrupt as hell. So a little bit more fleshing out, if you will, and that's all it needed, really.
Okay.
Actually, I might be capping. I might throw in some more freaking Jose Fumi scenes in there and Yoshikage scenes in there as well. I feel like that the answer or conclusion to that mystery kind of fell flat, or at least in my opinion, wasn't shown enough. I would have liked more scenes about what they actually did and shit. Maybe not when they met each other, but before then. But hey, man.
Yeah, like what Tesla said in the chat is actually kind of where I was gonna go personally. I think this needed. It's strange because it somewhat reminds me of Monogatari with the Kaiki scene, where I actually very much appreciated the anticlimacticness of it. He's like, I'm not. You thought we are gonna have some mega showdown here? Like, I'ma just leave. He was left, and I was like, wow. Like, but like if you were looking forward to this Araragi like Kaiki clash, you might have been super like let down on that. So there's a part of me that's like, all things considered, I do think he did something different and interesting, but I think I needed a stronger, more iconic villain. That would have carried it for me. I'm not like Toru and Wonder Review works, but like I'm not too high on them. You know what I'm saying? I've had them in that Diablo Cars kind of category. Like
I'm high on Wonder of You. I'm not high on Toru. That makes sense. Actually, it makes
Yeah, no,
perfect
it does. It does.
sense.
Makes sense. Makes sense to me. I hear you though. Rebate may bump it up though. I really enjoyed when I first started reading it. It's been a long time. I feel that I can't wait to catch up and fully experience a new part in real time. Yeah, it's fun. It's different. It's different. But yeah, that's what it is for me. And what about you, Gioni? Like, what would you have needed maybe for it to be your favorite part? Just out of curiosity.
Um, I don't know. It might be my favorite part once I reread it,
Oh shit.
but I guess more resolution to Johnny, and or I guess more info because I don't know. It's just kind of weird how everything played out with him, especially how he was introduced in this part, and probably Carrera
The Carrera
ish.
thing is a little like I thought we would circle back to some degree at some point. I don't know though, but yeah. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but some people were saying in the comments, and I mean on this thing, the site that I read, and I think I saw it once on Twitter, but they said feel good ending. Did y'all feel good about that? Did that ending inspire a lot of happiness in you when it was done? I was sad.
Absolutely
No.
not. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the comment I was referring to because I still have the tweet or the scan group in
Cause I
bookmarks.
the way Yasu was walking out and they're like, cut the damn cake, we sad, we cry. I'm like, bro, I'm sad. Why did it end like this? Like I was like, bro, so many questions. But
I'm so confused.
okay,
Like, why are
Yasu,
they crying?
let's put our heads together. Let's combine our powers. Give me your energy. Okay, but first of all, just when it comes to the final arc and the ending, do you all feel like the way that I felt that it was kind of abrupt? Like you almost got fuck it syndrome when he's like, let's end it. I'm trying to ready to move on to part 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. And as a result, do you feel that a lot of the things that should have probably been fleshed out and played out more just didn't get enough time to kind of marinate well? I guess because I'm gonna sit here where like for some reason the Wonder Review like battle and calamity stuff I actually don't have any problem with how it ended and everything, even with like Kato coming and sacrificing herself, but just something there is wrong. I can't put my finger on it. And I don't know if it's wrong or more so I can't fully articulate how I feel about it. If that makes sense.
No, it's because of the way part 7 ended that made us feel like part 8 was going to be of the same vein. Because when we had the whole climax with Funny Valentine and D4C and Love Train, like that arc ends when D4C is defeated, but it's not over yet. Johnny still has to go back and finish the race. And then Diego from the other dimension comes through, and then that's the final battle. So, like, while we're reading Wonder if You, we're thinking, okay, Wonder if You is like the end game antagonist before the end game antagonist. There's going to be one more, and then it just ends. And they're like, no, we're done. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. But did you find it, Simi?
I actually did not, but yeah. Basically, man was talking about some. Oh, I love how he's feel good ending. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Nothing about this make you feel good. They literally sitting around the table all crying, and then Yasuo is shown leaving the room like she never gonna see these niggas again. Type beat. Like what? What about that made you feel good?
Like it really looked like like a final like I can never see it, like I don't know, like I can't explain, like obviously you interpret the art your way, but I like it was a look of finality to me, like let me take one
That
last look at this family before I leave forever type beat. That's how it came across to me, really. And I don't
the
know if part
feeling that
eight,
I
part
felt,
nine, sorry, will tie into this at some point, but like still, man, I was sad, yo. I was so sad.
the one feeling that I felt looking at those last few pages is fucking melancholy. Ain't no fucking happy feeling. What's going on? They crying like Jobin dead. They crying.
Like,
Yasuo leaving and don't say nothing. Just that's it. That final page. Bye. See you later. It's like, what am I supposed to feel good about?
I
Like,
guess I guess my
um,
follow up question is just: do you think there was purpose here? Like this was done with intent for later for something later? Maybe. So you know how like in part eight we do have a bit of the Johnny stuff. Do you think at some point we might come full circle to something that happened in Morioh here that kind of ties it to JoJo lands to some degree or no?
absolutely. I mean, because this is still at the end of the day, this is still one concurrent series. So, and JoJolion ended with Josuke as a very young adult. You know, he's not grown at all. There's absolutely zero, unless JoJo lands take place like fucking 90 years in the future. There's no reason for him not to be, or for him not to be in the next part, or to see the after effects of his adventures in the next part. So
Okay,
absolutely,
I understand that. Okay, so what did that ending mean though? What was going on?
I don't,
How did you interpret it?
I, nigga. All I interpreted was, is fighting really worth it? Because the way that this man Josuke is talking, he's empty. Like, all I felt was sadness those final few pages, because he looking up at the sky. He thinking about all the people that died. He thinking about he quote unquote new life, but it's the way he's talking. It's not triumphant. It's very somber. It's like he's sad, and I'm like, was this worth it? Was finding out who you was worth it? How many niggas you had to kill? How many people had to be killed for you to get to this point? And it's like, I guess new family is, bro. I don't know what I read. All right, I just don't know. I don't know. Help me.
Wait, so would you consider this a sadder ending than part six or part one? Well,
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, I would.
here's how I'd frame it. I don't think you can beat part one because I don't think that anybody who, if you weren't spoiled, I don't think anyone would have seen that coming. Like, Jonathan's death hits you. You're like, wait, the part's done? He's dead? Dio's taking his body? What the hell? Like, it's crazy. Like, so to some degree, and I actually am a huge fan of Phantom Blood. So for me, like, I would probably put that part higher. Part six, even though you kind of know everyone dies, there's the way that it happens doesn't feel intimate to me. So you kind of just like whatever rewrite, and then the guys I don't know. I just kind of just moved on. Like, it's hard to explain. I was not sad at part six ending. I was just like, oh shoot, multiverse shit, yay, raw. Like like timelines, you know. Like I kind of just went there with that. Even though Jolie's my favorite, she was mad young. Like she like died like 19. Like it is sad, but this probably hit me the second hardest because it's just like Simi said, you know, it's almost like, you know, you've won the battle, but at what cost? It cost too much. The cost was too great. Yeah, the Rokaka. Yeah, I understand my family lineage. Yada yada. Everyone's dead or hurt, and Joshu got a little dick arm. Like, like. First of all, I can't believe he made it. Come on, Araki, bro. Come on, dog. He's the worst. How he make it? But yeah, like. So for me, I think the totality of the last, I mean, but even like a little bit of part three, Stardust Crusaders, I thought I felt a little bit of, damn, like we beat Dio, but we lost Kyakuin, we lost. Well, I don't care about the dog, but we lost, you know, a couple other
oh,
people and
whoa, whoa,
everything.
whoa,
Yeah,
whoa!
yeah. Yo, y'all gonna learn one day. I don't care about these animals. Fuck Iggy. All right, Iggy was an asshole.
God
Oh my
damn.
god!
No, Iggy was fine. I don't know about Iggy, but I don't care about Iggy. Iggy's not a person. But yeah, so that's how I'll frame this. It was melancholy. I think that's a good way to put it. Maybe not necessarily. I don't know, man. It's something about the tone and the ambience of that scene. It's like very. It's more. It's more dosed in sadness than it is like feel good.
I don't know what he talking about. I don't know what the fuck he feeling good about. He feel good that he don't gotta read this shit no more every morning. I don't know.
Right.
He wilding.
Yeah. Abayo Iggy. Nah. But yeah.
That shit hurt.
What Iggy?
Yes.
Yo, when he was when Vanilla Ice was kicking the shit out of Iggy, that shit was funny.
Oh no, no.
He said, "You
What's the matter with
stupid
this
little
guy?
mutt." I said that when Dio did it raw. But anyway, let me stop before PETA come for me and YouTube come for me and Twitch come for me. I love animals. They're so great. They're the best thing ever. Oh God. But yeah, what about you, Pat? Like, what? How do you interpret that ending?
Um, yeah, like reading it, it's probably on par with part three in terms of sadness. Cause it's like, damn, he was burning with curiosity to know who he was. And then like, he has that run in with his birth mother at the end of the series, and he can't even greet her because he's like a completely different person now. And he's remembering all the people like he had to lose in order to have an inkling of who he is. They have Nijimura, she dead. Mamazuku, she dead. I mean, he dead. I'm just like, damn. Jobin dead too. And
I
then
lost my milf.
they all sitting there at the table. Jobin gone, Kato gone. They talking about some Josuke cut the cake. What significance is there to this cake? Like, what's going on?
The cake was a lie.
I'm so confused. I'm just reading it. They all crying. I'm just like, damn. And Yasuo just looking at them. I'm just like, Yasuo, you gonna say something? She just looking at them and she closed the door. I was just like,
What's happening?
man,
Yeah, I don't know.
just mad confused.
And a lot of bodies dropped, man. Like I can't believe I still think Araki is so foul for the Kei Nijimura thing. That was so foul. She did not deserve to go out like that. Why did you do that to her? Just brought her in there like, hey yo, pipe in her eye, done, bro. What's it good with you?
Nothing is good with it.
we gotta find him and pull up on Araki. You gotta pull up on him. Yo, explain yourself. Explain the ending. Explain. All right, but I don't know. It just had to be cheesecake for real. Must have been some good cake. We'll see. I'm not a cake guy. I don't do pastries and cookies and cupcakes. So, but all right, let's talk about something a little happier. give me give me some of your favorite characters. You can I said favorite five, but from this part, but like who you guys rocking with from part 8? Should I start? You already
Yeah,
know
go
it's
ahead.
Yasuo, the goat.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? She might be my favorite JoJo character. Nah. Funny Valentine's still king. She's like second.
So John.
Yeah.
Oh my
Honestly,
god, napkin fetish.
napkin fetish raw. What's up with this guy? Honestly, this a hype beast, but I have Kato second. Kato second. It's mad hype beast. I know, but I don't care. She raw. She's raw. Gappy. I actually like him a lot. He's one of my favorite leads. I think he was really good.
Nigga, the cast is mad small in this part.
Yeah.
You say any more, we not gonna have no answers.
Okay. All right. So top three. I'm done.
But anyways, I like Josuke a lot in here as well
His favorite
because
character, Mako.
wow. So because he like I like eccentricness that we saw in the beginning chapters. They was talking about some he need
Pressure.
more pressure type shit. Smile with that fucking gap in his fucking tooth.
Hey man, chill on me.
He, just weird, right? He beating man behind Yasuo back. That shit funny. Like it. He and then his serious side too. I mean, I wish we still got that. Speaking of that, I really do wish we got more of that eccentric side throughout the entire part, because I feel like that went to the wayside once Rock niggas started getting involved. Ain't no more he need pressure. That nigga was just fucking nah. I need that bread. I need that fruit. Type B. But yeah, I like Josuke a lot. Um, I like also a lot too. Her backstory, her fucking relationship with her mom, her ancient mom. That was raw. Then third, who the fuck I give it a third to? Cause like, dang, the cast really was small. And fuck,
Joseph Fujo star.
hey, that was
Hey, he count.
I'm just,
he's in the
If
part,
he,
right?
if
He was in the
you
part,
know what I
right?
mean?
okay.
Joseph Fujo star. Oh shoot! I did not see that coming, but I did see it coming, but I didn't. As soon as I saw his the star birthmark, I'm like, oh shit, can it be? So yeah. Oh, Kira was good. Kira's a good one.
It was funny.
But yeah, keep going. Sorry, I cut you off.
Shit, fuck. Cause I'm not gonna hold you like that. Everybody else, pretty lukewarm. Well, I don't want to say lukewarm, but like
You don't
I would,
dislike them, but you're not like in love.
yeah. But cause it was really the Josuke and Yasuo show for me.
Fair enough.
Like
Fair enough.
not, yeah, of course not. Or if they not on screen, I don't care. But these two characters, yes, I actually like. Like I can make an argument for both of them. The rest, you see, as I'm struggling, right? I can't even get you a third. So I was gonna give it to Tsurugi, honestly, but maybe I just like Tsurugi's power.
Yeah, I would just say paper. I like the ability. I don't like the little nigga like that though. I don't dislike him, but you know what I mean. What about you, Pat?
All right. So number one, you already know how we coming. Carrera, the scam queen. She
Right.
at the top. She, she's fucking hilarious.
Sucking meat in the stall. I'm joking.
She over here doing people's hair in the bathroom, trying to scam the taxi driver out of a free ride. I'm like, okay, I'm messing with this.
He came straight from the cul-de-sac.
Number two, number two. Who would I have for number two for this
You
part?
see, this shit hard as fuck.
Yeah,
Cast had
because
like
like
four niggas in it.
I kind of like majority of the characters like about the same, but uh, I guess I would give it to Kira because it was so refreshing to not have to be like on edge when I saw this nigga. Like when I first saw Killer Queen, I was like, oh shit, here we go
Here we
again.
go again. Yeah.
But like looking at the flashback when he was talking to what's his name? What's his name? Was it Dero?
But nigga on
When
the
he was
boat.
yeah, he was asking that nigga like, are you a man of the sea or are you a man of land or something like that.
Oh, I remember that nigga name. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it was Dero or something like that.
I can help you. Keep going
But no, I like the relationship that this Kira had with his mother, like the way he interacted with Joseph Fumi, the showdown that these niggas had with the rock niggas on the boat. Like that shit was fire to me. That was the best stretch of JoJo for me. Like just finding out like Josuke's actual identity.
Yeah, Joseph Fumi
So
stuff was incredible. It was really it definitely elevated the part a lot, and the Kira stuff was cool. It really was.
mm,
And like I did find this a little interesting only from the standpoint it's like you kind of think about you kind of have to you also have to think about like these this part because it's an alternate Morioh will obviously play on your foreknowledge of part four. So
hmm
you see Kira and you automatically think certain things, but you see that it's moved a little differently. But also I would argue that he has a very weird, unhealthy dynamic relationship with his dad, where dad just like wants to protect him, where like he actually has a healthy, seemingly healthy relationship with his mother in this part, which was a nice little
yeah.
juxtaposition there. So I saw what she was doing there, Rocky. I was paying attention. Now looking at me. What you do?
And
Actually, no. Wait. Is that two or three?
That was two.
Okay, go ahead.
And for number three, hey man, I saw Clucker Volley. I was like, yes, sir.
I'm not mad at it. I got him 6.
Oh shit. That nigga came out there with Herbert Purple. That shit took a humanoid form. I was like, hello? Oh my gosh. That shit had me popping.
Yep. That shit was gas. It was gas for sure. Joni.
Uh, Probably Josuke, Yasuho, and Mamizuku.
Yeah, Mamazuka was really good. Shout out to Doggy Style. Overall, that was good. I like them a lot. Just out of curiosity, like, is there a character in this part you really fucking hate? Joshua side, I guess. Cause we know I don't think anyone here likes him. He's a fucking
And
bozo.
Joshua side.
Yeah, no, I didn't like actually like detest like that. No.
I don't like Josephume's mom. I don't remember her name. I want to say I don't remember her name, but I hate her.
Oh yeah, she was wild with that.
Yeah, she's trash. So,
I dislike Toru. I don't know about hate though, but I dislike him.
okay, that's fair. Jobin is also a character that I really like, by the way. Jobin. So I'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to there because we'll talk about this stuff too. But give me some of your favorite like stand battles and or even I guess I will add arcs in here too, just if you want to, because I do think that talking about that stretch of the flashback is important. But like some of your favorite stand battles, just whatever stand battles stood out to you. You don't have to like.
Wow. Okay, so I see. I see. Look, I got my list. I made a list quickly.
There we go.
I
Oh,
got
okay.
my homework.
He
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
out
I got
his
my.
notes. You
Yeah,
ready
I
for the
did. I
tea?
really did. So I got my 5. You already know. Listen, every single time, almost every single time we had an episode on this bitch, I brought up this stand battle. I'm gonna bring it up again. So California King Bed, that shit was gas. Why was that shit gas? Cause
Sir.
my ass would have lost. Oh man, he would have had me in your blender, nigga. Fuck what you talking about? Damn, slave collar around my neck. That shit was wild. I don't know how he got out of that shit. That was wild. Then
I
we
would have,
got
I would
on.
have, I would have, I would have beat her cheeks. I won't lie to you.
Man, we man. Next after that, fucking Doobie Wow. Man, let me tell you, that shit, that art, this nigga fucking remote stand every time you breathe, nigga. There's just no way. Now that's some, you know me. This one and the one I'm about to say after this, I believe. Hold on. Yeah, the one I'm about to say after this. You know me. I'm a horror fan. One of the reasons why I like JoJo so much is all of the horror elements in it. And that race that Yasuo and fucking Tsurugi had to do, especially the part when they got on the fucking bus. Man, that shit crazy. I hate automatic stats. That's the bitch made stat. You know what I'm saying? They could just go camp across a map and then wait. wait to see plus 100 pop up on his screen. Man, but that shit was crazy. Then after that, we got Blue Hawaii. Oh man, that shit was bananas.
So you're gonna name all of the fucking battles.
No, I'm not. What you talking about? You said name 5. I got my 5.
All right, go ahead.
Shoot, Blue Hawaii was gas, son. Now that's some straight just apocalypse type. First of all, just a single drop of blood, nigga. This man just had all of Morioh chasing after you. Oh man, son. Now that was a good art. Let me tell you. I was on the edge of my seat with that. That shit was fucking crazy. Man, I love me some horror. And then finally, Wonder if you was gas, boy. I'm sorry. Listen, Toru whack, but just there's just something so funny about seeing some nigga in a top hat constantly just turn a corner. And you like, who the fuck is that? And then you try to chase it, you getting give. That shit is so funny. Every time he around the corner, and you see this back, you see the back of his head. That shit funny. But the actual from the chase to figure out how his power works to trying to fight it. That was I believe that was a good final fight. Just again, the ending itself was a broke, but that final fight, I really liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like we really had to band together, friend and foe, to get his fucking grooming ass out here. Because boy, oh boy, that standard's ridiculous. They talking about some pursuit. Dang. All right, that's my list. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for coming to his TED talk. Um, I guess I'll just throw down. I'll just throw one in there. I like Les Faits from Shakedown Road. I like that. I like that one. I don't know. I had fun. I had fun there in Shakedown Road. Like, oh yo, like you crash into like the wall of the store, like got it, like bro, like, what's happening? Like yo, fuck, yeah,
I got paid for it.
I'll beat everyone's ass right now. I'm fucking mad. Everyone fight me. So, I'm gonna throw that in there. But yeah, Blue Hawaii was a good one. I like that one a lot. And I actually agree with him. California King Bed was one of like it was like the first kind of like not really battling stance, but just trying to figure out how it works. Where it's like, oh yeah, we're getting right into that like tactical stand battle shit already. And like he said, I would have lost, but but like you couldn't have me in that house. Like, oh, this is my daughter, blah blah. And like, oh, like she do not like you trying to take us to the California King Bed. Like you trying to take it there, cause I will slash. We slash it. So, yeah. But go ahead, Pat. We're gonna need.
All
Oh,
right,
wait,
so
hold on.
boom.
No, sure, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So boom. Number one, you already know what it is. Favorite character came through and saved the day when Josuke was over here fighting the Aphex brothers in the middle of the street. Yo, this nigga Josuke, he actually be out there throwing hands with his stand like Jolene. That's one thing about him that I gotta give him props for. And they come out there,
Yep.
they over there following him. He like, bro, why y'all niggas following me? Who are y'all? They started kicking the ball and shit. You don't waste no time. Soft and wet. Hold up! Just beating their asses in the street.
And it was brutal too. Oh my
He
god!
really
Like
murdered them niggas.
Son. He was on their ass.
Them rock
But
fellas.
they jumped him. They almost had him if Carrera didn't show up though. When she set that one nigga on fire, I was like, yes, sir. And number two, we running it back again with the Aphex brothers in the flashback. I don't know what it is with these niggas, but they was
they
just
the
wrong to
best
me.
jobbers. Let's go.
When Joseph Fumi was beating their asses in the flashback.
So not that like I haven't seen brutality like that, like straight up gore like that in JoJo in a long ass time. Of course, cause like excluding freaking Steel Ball Run because that was literally the previous part. But I feel like this was a true return to form. Straight
Mm.
thumb in your eye. I take my thumb and I put it in your eye type. Listen, that panel when he hit the Muay Thai knee, like this nigga face just fall apart. I'm like, oh my god.
It was wrong.
Yep.
Oh, that nigga said, we know. We know.
I know.
um, Number three, this is where it gets kind of hard because like all the fights from this point on were like around the same level. Well, I mean, it's not really a fight, but it was funny to me with Josuke and Jobin when they had the stag beetles going up
I
against each
forget
other.
that. That's crazy. That's top. That's up there. That was amazing. I didn't
Cause
care.
this nigga Joshu over here riding his brother Dick hard, talking about some big bro. You not gonna lose. You the best. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, damn. I know that's your older brother, but hop off for a
You
second.
know what he
Shit.
sounds like? You know, like the Disney Channel like bullies, but like the secondary bully, where it's like, yeah, you're a loser. Yeah, loser. Like that was his commentary the whole time. He was that guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, like the mood and the atmosphere of that stag beetle fight was just so intense for no reason. I'm just over here like, bro, why this shit got me so immersed right now? What's going on? There's two beetles fighting with each other. So yeah, that one was good. Number four, I mean, you can't really make a top five list for JoJolion without putting the Wonder of You stand battle in it, like throughout the entire process. Because when this nigga had the rain attacking him, I knew they was in for some shit.
Man,
That rain was going
Because,
through the. I'm like, bro, what do I do?
like, what the fuck?
If I can dodge rain, I could dodge a dodgeball. His ass, like, help me.
Like, that whole entire stretch where they're trying to figure out the ability of Wonder of You was just, that shit was peak. I really enjoyed it, especially when Josuke just sitting there waiting for like 3 chapters. He was like, I'm not going to pursue him. He's going to come to me. I was like,
That,
oh,
that
okay.
that panel of him in the swivel chair or whatever, just sitting there. I don't know what is this so raw. You just sitting there. I love it. This fucking sailor hat, gas pack,
Yeah,
iconic
and
panel that speaks to my soul.
the last one, I guess, would be for Joseph Joestar, just because I saw Hermit Purple take a humanoid form. I don't even know what he was fighting, but that shit was raw to me.
just fighting a guardrail.
It was gas. Joni, your favorite fights? Stab
Uh,
battles.
um, Probably will definitely vitamin C.
Okay, yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um, Definitely the Wonder of You, or like the climax, all of it. Like when Momozuku was trying to convince, or like telling Josuke that there's a spin to his bubbles. Um,
That shit was fire.
Hello.
the stag beetles. Yeah, that would be in there.
You can't go wrong with that.
And you guys pretty much said the rest.
I,
Like
I
I feel like I
who did
enjoyed all of them
such,
besides one.
just out of curiosity, who did Mamezuku fight on his like house
Monorail.
on monorail? Like,
Wasn't that Urban Gorilla?
okay, did I like that?
Yeah,
I don't remember if I like that.
Just a rock dog underground or whatever the fuck that thing was.
It was like a tank.
Maybe no, maybe I'm mistaken how I liked how he used his ability more so than the fight itself. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Well, okay, all right. Um, do you want to keep going or are you good?
Oh no, I'm good.
All right. Now, for an interesting question, because I think this is always important because this is kind of my favorite part about JoJo's in general. But in your opinion, how does like Joe Tusuke, Gappy, Josefumi, whatever you want to call him, how does he kind of compare to other JoJos? And do you think he was a good lead, like the other main protagonist? How do you guys feel he kind of stacks up against the rest?
He's up there.
mm. I mean, he better than Jorno. That's for certain.
Off rip,
I
Joe always
like
last. Then for me, Johnny right after. Then everyone else. But go ahead.
Whoa,
I like
whoa,
him more
whoa,
than
man.
Yeah,
Johnny.
man. Hey, listen. Shooting nails not raw, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Hang nail ass. I'm not joking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so I guess I go it. Now I liked him a lot. I think he was a strong lead. I do feel like this is hard because Joe Jordan is like the black sheep of the bunch. Because yeah, it still follows the formula of every arc is just a stand battle.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Josuke himself, even though he's the main character, he wasn't he wasn't on screen like that.
You think
I feel
so?
like it yeah, I feel like the story more so followed Yasuo's
The
point of view.
Yasuo, yeah, and the Higashikata family.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I would argue that in the family itself. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Yeah, so we not so because like and that's the reason why I can't really like answer the question of like what characters I like outside of those two because we don't really get to spend time with them like that. Like if I compare it to OG timeline, Morioh Cho, right? You know, you have your chapters with Josie, you have plenty of chapters with the Go, give him the bell.
The
The
best,
belt.
the best, the best.
You know, we get chapters with a lot of the residents um of the town, right? Versus here where when they on screen, we don't really get to see like they personality like that. I don't, and I want to say at least from my point of view, I don't really get a chance to grow a connection with them like that because whenever they're on screen, they all about what the fuck they trying to do at that given time, more so or less. So I feel like even though Josuke's the main character, and I think he is a good lead, I feel like he could have been really up there if it was from his point of view more instead of Yasuo. Because it felt this part itself felt more like observing Josuke through the eyes of other people, through third party eyes, instead of following him through his own eyes.
Like
If
he's
y'all get
not
what
the
I'm trying to say.
narrator of the story. Like he's
Yeah.
not from his perspective. I hear what you're saying. I got you. That made sense.
But I think he's a really strong lead. I like him a lot. Like
Okay.
I don't dislike him at all. I think he's fantastic. His fights raw, his dialogue raw. When he was allowed to be funny, he was funny. And so he entertaining. What more can I ask for?
Fair enough. And he has a fabulous midriff. Indeed. Go ahead, Pat.
So, I mean, you already know me. My top three is fucking Joseph Joestar, Kujo Jotaro, and Higashikata Josuke, the one in part four. So I can't really honestly say that part eight Josuke was better than those three. Like he had his moments for sure, and I definitely enjoyed him. After those three for me is Jolene. I don't think I could put him over Jolene either. So it'd probably be like that fifth spot. So unfortunately, he's like in the bottom half, even though I did like him. But he's clear of Johnny and fucking Giorno. Like I don't
Oh
even have
yeah,
to think twice about
I
that.
agree with that. But the thing is, I don't have heat with fucking Johnny, even though he was most definitely wilding in that
No, the Johnny thing is
first.
just is me. I know it's me. It's a personal thing. It's me. I don't like him. Like I
But now the
don't
thing
like
is,
him.
like, I didn't like him either at first when I first heard it because he was wilding, he was fiending. I'm like, yo, what you feeling like that for? But yeah, he grew into his own in my eyes. So, but I still like Joe Tuske more. So I
Get
agree
you.
with that.
Josuke.
Oh shit. Joni, how about you?
Um, Johnny slander aside, uh, I think Joe Skate or Gappy is better than Joseph, Giorno, and Jotaro.
Okay.
Um, I think him and Josuke are tied, and I'd probably give it to um, Jolene and Johnny are at the top.
Okay.
And I put Jonathan under Jolene, so that would probably be my top three.
Oh, why did I forget
Love,
about Jonathan?
love to see it.
Fuck,
Go
I'm
ahead,
a
P.
fake JoJo fan.
Nah, Jonathan's always like top fours. You know. I missed the question. If it's favorite JoJo, no, it's not favorite JoJo. I'm basically asking you, how do you feel about this part of Josuke in comparison to the other leads, like the other JoJos? Like, where does he rank for you? How do you feel about him? Is he like one of your favorite leads for as a Joestar? Was he not up there for you? Because for me, I have him. I actually have him third. Um, I don't like him more than Jolene. I don't like him more than Joseph. But I'm actually okay with putting him above Jonathan. Jonathan, I have third. I had third before. Um, the reason that I like Gappy a lot, even though I kind of agree with the sentiment that maybe it wasn't necessary from his point of view, it's just that he seemed really well rounded to me, the same way the original Josuke was, where I felt like the original Josuke, like the way that I perceived him was just like he was actually a high school kid, and
Yes.
depending on the situation, his attitude just reflected the scenario, as opposed to like Joseph is genuinely goofy until he's not. But even still, he's goofy, or he's fake. He's being fake goofy to trick you to thinking he's goofy, but he's not goofy. Next, he gonna say this. You know what I'm saying? Like Jotaro is very stoic. He don't speak unless he really needs to, and when it does, it's fucking raw. Like they have their personality trait, their dominant personality trait. The two Josuke's to me were the most malleable characters. I'm gonna throw Jolene in there just because she has like a Joseph and Jotaro mix, in my opinion. But they're like the most malleable characters and most multifaceted. But the thing about this one is that I'm seeing him body people in the streets. Dead. You're done. Fighting with his stand like he's raw. He got a sailor hat. I'm like the gap. Like who is this guy? Like the fact that he looks the way he looks, and my first impression of him was whoa. Like I guess JoJo, but like whoa. But I'm like nah, he's raw. Nah, I gotta mess with him, and I really like the ability soft and wet a lot. It's one of my favorite JoJo abilities, and I love the way that he used it and how it evolves and everything. So yeah, and like he left a pretty strong first impression of me too. Yugging Yasuo, his meat out. I'm like, bro, put that away. So I like him. He's my third favorite.
She's
I put
like,
him right
it's
there.
hitting me. Hey,
He's
it's
like,
hitting
he's
me.
not he's not moving. I'm like, I know those ones. Like, hey, let it hit. So yeah, so for me, he's like right up. He's like right up there. Like my, and like I think we all feel this way, except maybe with Giorno. Well, I'll let them speak for themselves. I don't necessarily dislike any lead, any main character. It's just comparatively I'm speaking. So like in comparison to the rest, you know, some of them are at the wayside. I don't actually dislike Giorno like that. You're just not it. You're just my least favorite at all eight easily. Then it's Johnny. He's right after, and then we can kind of talk about it. I don't think I have Jatara that low. I don't know. I got to think about it, but yeah, that's my answer. So yeah, this part had a lot of funny moments. I'm going Jolene for the win. Yeah, you haven't wait. Oh, you haven't finished 7+. Well, damn, you spoiled the fuck out of you. My bad, bro. But okay, now this basically the same question, but let's kind of flip it to the antagonist, like the big bad, if you will. So I don't know if you want to do Toru and Wonder Review, the Doctor, and the tandem separately. I don't know how you kind of want to do it, but how did you really feel that Toru and them fared as a final antagonist? Did it kind of I honestly believe that JoJo has like a final antagonist like tradition, where like every single last like final villain to some degree is just very unique in their own right. Whether or not it resonated with you personally is irrelevant. But I do think they were very different and special in their own right. Dio for his iconic just evil charisma, part 1 and 3. You know what it is. Dio was a catalyst for pretty much any and everything. I think
JoJo!
I think the Pillar Men, despite how you may feel about some of the four, I say three, fuck Santana, but like, but like the three, I think they're in their own right are very special. Like ACDC from Cars to Wamu. I think Wamu is the one most people tend to like a lot. But as much as I don't think comparatively they're as great, I still think they're special in their own right. They're fucking weird, and it ties into the Stone Masks, right? Kira never had encountered an antagonist quite like Kira until hello. Oh, that's so funny.
I had to do it.
Nah, fair enough. And then like Diablo was just like I just don't want to fight nobody. I have a dual personality. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's different, and I know you guys don't like the gold priest of all time.
Brother.
Let's go.
Don't get me started.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
Rico.
Don't get me started.
Speak on it, man.
Like him
And these
too.
niggas was hating.
With with his 3-step stand, you know, like his three, like he was different. He was a deal.
It wasn't 3 steps. It was 2 fucking rough drafts and then a final sketch.
Why you hating on the CDs? No, the
Did he
yeah, the Blu-rays.
did he get made in heaven or not?
Hey, CD's obsolete. It was in 2011. Nigga using CDs. We was on Blu-ray back then.
Nah, man. So shout out to the shout out to the CD gang, shout out to the DVD gang. But like, and then after Funny Valentine, who I think is, in my opinion, the best antagonist. I think like it's just like so even here, I still think this weird splitting of the villain kind of like the Doctor just like Timmy said, he just be like, who's this old nigga just walking? Why is Joe Biden just walking? That's all he's doing. Just seeing Joe Biden walking.
Biden.
He's not doing nothing. He's just walking, right?
So funny because literally every video you see of that nigga, he just walking.
So I think the build up and intrigue to the final antagonist and them being like this weird separate identity, Wonder Review and stuff, it's unique in its own right, but I just don't think it holds up to the other 7. So my soliloquy is over. My bad. Go ahead now. How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I feel like yeah, I feel like not only Toru, but I feel like the Rock niggas themselves was weak,
Okay.
right? So I would actually, I, I don't even want to like disrespect them like that either, but I would honestly put them in the same realm as the Pillarmen, but the Pillarmen more raw because first of all, the Pillarmen are iconic. They influence other characters. Shout out Urian from Street Fighter,
Mm-hmm.
but
Ay, 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 ay.
but
Nani?
like, cause the reason why I say the Rock niggas are weak, I feel like there's no exclusivity to them. So what I mean by that is, it could have been anybody trafficking the goddamn fruit, right?
Mm.
You could replace the Rock niggas, and the story itself would not change.
I hear you.
Meanwhile,
The
if you try
biology
to,
of the yeah. Okay, I
yeah,
got you. I got you.
nah, they're like their actual gimmick and the fact that they have completely different species, that's raw. Yes, absolutely. All that where they came from, how they work, all that's raw. But them as an antagonistic group is very weak to me because it they don't have any exclusivity to the part. If you replace them with anybody else, JoJolian stays the same. For example, you can't replace, even though Americans whack and fuck napkins, you can't replace Valentine out of Steel Ball Run because then it'll be a completely different series. Because Valentine's whole gimmick about doing shit for his country and his natural born right and all that other bullshit, right? So with the Rock, they literally just right place, right time. At least that's how I took it.
Okay.
We found this shit. We gonna start selling it.
No. Okay. No. I hear what you're saying. Honestly, I think that makes sense. But my only pushback is you don't think that them being a different type of biology, have a different physiology, was kind of important to the part, even with some of the battles, like I guess, because I kind of hear what you're saying, because like replace like even like shit, is it Damaki? Shit, Tamaki.
Tamaki.
Sorry, Tamaki. Right? Like replace make him a regular human that still gets bodied. What kind of changes? You know, like I think I kind of understand what you're saying, but I do think that to some degree, the literal biology of the rock people was important, especially even with Toru because Toru had seen Yasuo from like 4 years old and he didn't like age a day type B, you know. So I think it kind of matters, but I hear what you're saying. Like it wasn't. I mean, it's not important enough. Like the literal Pillarmen are the people who created the Stone Mask in the part of the Stone Mask saga. You can't replace them. They made this shit, and they're trying to ascend to a next level and conquer the sun. And this is the reason why Dio's a vampire. Like all of that is a catalyst for so many things. So I get it. They're far more important, and their biology and who they are and where they come from affects the series and lore way more than rock people. But I do think that them being like not necessarily human was significant. That's my only pushback.
Yeah, and I'm not arguing against it. That's why I said that their actual biology and them being a different species, that's raw. But or I should say, the ones that we fought, the ones that we saw on screen, they didn't feel important enough. I guess I can say, for lack of better terms, or iconic enough, whatever you want to say, to make it like okay, like yeah, these are the antagonists of part 8. It really just felt like yo, we just fighting niggas.
We just finding some fucking plant people.
And then Toru himself, he's a burger. He's a grooming burger. We don't like he
Yeah,
at all.
yeah. Fuck that nigga.
But the whole doctor gimmick itself, where he living a split life. He's directly influencing hundreds of people's lives. Nobody know what he really about, his true identity type shit. And like they're not even referring to him by name, just the head doctor. Who the fuck is that? He don't got a name? He got a birth certificate? The head doctor type B. All that's raw, but Toru himself, yeah, he not it, man. He's pretty weak. Oh yeah, he's pretty weak. And just I'm
So
the
would you
I
say
should
that?
say
Go
the
ahead.
the rock niggas that we saw on screen were not it. Now, if we continue to fight rock niggas in JoJo lands and they roar, then yeah, sure. But the ones that we saw on screen here, I ain't feel they didn't do too much for me.
My only one, the one that stands out to me is Tamaki only, Vitamin C, like him, because he even ties back into Joseph Fumi and Kira. So I think he's the only
Yeah.
one that stands out in my head. When I think Rock Human, I think him. So fair enough, though. Fair, your point's still taken. I guess my question for you is really like, I think I might agree with you, like just in terms of just like the minor villains and final antagonists. Like this is not saying they're bad, but comparatively, the whole antagonist group here is probably the weakest of the 8 parts. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say so.
I agree with you. I'm with you on that. Honestly, I am. And it's not that it's bad, because there's other things that this part did that I think it did better than other parts. But I just think this was a part to me where I'm like, even like part 5, like the squadron raw. I like them, So
Yeah, and then like and not only that, but there was actually a group, versus like these rock
Dimato.
these rock niggas literally they don't even care about each other. Oh, why you even? I don't want to be involved. I just want to be a rock nigga in the forest. Type B. Nah, go fight him. Like they don't got there's they're not even as a group. They're not moving as a unit. They all over the place.
They all
And the ones
fighting
that
for
we
the
saw
plan.
is yeah, they literally just we trafficking. All right, man. I guess.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Pat.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Simi because it's like the rock niggas, them being rock niggas has no bearing on the actual story. It's just they rock niggas. So like it's an interesting tidbit. Like it's interesting to know like, yo, these niggas is not human. They rock. But it like if they wasn't rock niggas, the story wouldn't change at all. So like that's why I guess the ending feels a little bit more anticlimactic when you take these things into account because it's like maybe we could have dove back into like the importance that they had of them being rock niggas with the most important one, Toru, being killed. Like, how does it affect the rest of them and like how they're living in society? But yeah, like, oh, what are you gonna
Because I
say?
want to say something real quick, not to cut you off or anything,
Oh, go
but
ahead.
like for example, right, the
Mm-hmm.
whole like chapter, like half a chapter, when we learn how what happens when a rock nigga is born, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the point of learning that? Of course, completely excluding that this might come full circle in JoJo lands, right? So just because I hate how to freaking say this disclaimer for whatever fucking reason, but just exclusively on what we have now. Jojolian, right? Learning that okay, when a rock nigga is bored, they in the forest, then they hang on to a fucking bee, and then the bee take them to XYZ. What was the point of learning all that?
That is a good point because it didn't like it was nice. Like okay, cool. They're like they're built differently. Maybe it was to maybe describe some of their demeanor. I don't know, man. I don't I could rationalize an answer, but I'll be doing the work for Araki. So fair enough.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
it doesn't affect the story in any way. Like if we didn't get that chapter, nothing about Jojolion changes. So it's kind of like one of those things where he just gives us interesting information and then he just never touches back on it again. Well, I mean, like somebody said, he could touch upon it in part 9. So the door's not completely shut because as we've seen, he interlocked the gap in the time period between part 7 and part 8 really well with that final chapter. So it could continue doing this in part 9. So like, we have 3 trilogies. You got the Stone Mask, Bow and Arrow, and then alternate universe timeline. But yeah,
That's
like
kind of how what I was thinking he was doing, honestly.
yeah, like this Toru. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's the worst main villain. Um,
Bro, he's not. Bro, Poochie's not worse than him. Stop. Stop.
what?
Don't don't do this. Don't do this.
Why are
Stay
you trying?
civilized.
I'm trying to look, Simmy. You see me trying to be nice, right?
I know.
I read in between all those lines when you said that. That's my problem. I knew what that meant. Go ahead, go
Bro,
ahead. I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
look, hey, December. Oh, it's up for that nigga. But let's not get off topic. The For me, the best villain obviously is going to be Dio, and then Kira's close second behind him, and then like the rest of them, you can kind of like scatter out. I wouldn't be too mad. Obviously, you know who was going to be last. Diavolo is not very interesting, but I guess I would say like Toru would be like below Valentine and Diego, but above Diavolo and Pucci. So that's like where I would put him.
Okay,
Because
that's fair.
Diavolo just weak sauce. Like he OP, but he's scared of fighting. What's wrong with you?
Like, who is fading you? Like, I just think it's just like he has one of those abilities too. Is like if I meet you, I don't know what's happening. Why the fuck are you afraid to fight people? I would. It's one thing like live your life discreetly. You know, I get that. Live in peace, whatever. Even though you're a fucking mafia boss, but you know. But it's like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
if someone pulls up on me, do you know how unafraid I am if I have King fucking Crimson? You could even if you had the ability to stop time, I'm still not afraid of you. Like I don't know, dude. But fair
Oh,
enough.
oh, and the Pillarman too. Toru is below the Pillarman because
Okay, yeah, yeah.
ACDC is fucking hilarious.
Yes, he
he's,
was.
he's fucking funny,
And then
man.
he used Joseph's
And they
gimmick
can
against
start
him, and I was
crying.
sick. I said, nah, don't do that.
That
I said, don't you
shit was
fucking dare.
scary.
I said, don't you fucking dare. Gioni, what about you, brother?
Um, I wouldn't put Toro at last, but I definitely think the Rock people were definitely at the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
or somewhat to the lower tier, below the Pyramid, because we really don't have a reason to care about them.
No, I got you. And okay, so now give me a character that you think needs to be highlighted. Give me a standout character for you that needs to be highlighted.
Toru.
Go ahead, speak on it. Highlight him.
Hold on. Go to someone else real quick.
All right, I'm gonna start with Yasuo. And why she raw? Because she's raw. Paisley Park.
Yup.
I'm keep going. Paisley Park is my second. I think. No, you know what? Let me say this. My favorite utility stand. I'm still a D4C merchant. Sorry guys, shit raw.
You4C.
I love that shit. I'm a multiverse nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, but I genuinely think she is the best written female character Araki has from start to finish. I'm not gonna argue that like you could, I think you could make the case for Jolene. Obviously, you can make the case for her. And I wouldn't argue against that. I do think a lot of other ones are exceptional. I do like Lisa a lot. I think Lisa's story is really dope too, considering what happened with George and everything. Like I think there's a lot of great ones, but I think by this point in time, he probably had a good grasp of how like to kind of manage this, and I just feel like he wrote her really well. I think her life is interesting from like her home life and how her mom is and whatnot, to the adventures and stuff that she got into with Josuke and kind of being interested in him, then tying back stuff to like Toru, her quote unquote whatever first man, whatever the fuck was going on with there. That nigga weird. But like, I just thought she had the whole package. Like everything about her was well rounded and interesting to some degree. Now she does fucking kill me when she just be yelling, nothing, just yelling, just not doing stuff. Like he's walking towards me, Josuke. I'm like, bro, move, run. Like why are you speed wagging it? You just narrating the situation. It's so funny, but. She looked good, pink hair, raw, all of that. I like how she dressed. Like I literally can't think of anything about the character that I dislike. So I have like every single colored panel that she's in. I have saved and cropped.
Yup. I know. We know.
I have a Yasuo folder. So yeah, she's like my second favorite JoJo character in general. So right after Funny Valentine. So yeah. I'm she might get her own video on God. So let me just save that. But
Mm-hmm.
for my like real answer, because that was the obvious one. For somebody who I think was like kind of low key or whatever, maybe not too important that I think needs to be kind of highlighted. I won't go too much into it, but it's
Why
gotta
she
be
still mad,
Kay.
bro?
Why he do that to her?
Oh, he was still mad. What's up, bro?
Why you do that to her, man?
Man, I don't want to talk about it.
Why you do that to her? I
That shit
thought she
was
was,
painful.
I thought she was gonna come full circle in a way that was so incredible due to her lineage, and I was just like, why you do that to her? Like, I actually like, I don't know, I don't know. I'm hurt. I'm just hurt. I don't want to talk
Very
anymore.
angry.
I
You,
don't
you
want to
can
talk
say
anymore.
it's okay.
I don't talk anymore. Someone else go.
Yeah. My answer goes to Pato.
Okay.
Ooh.
Walking
Yeah,
heart.
yeah, because like that whole arc with fucking Damo Vitamin C, that shit was incredible. And I feel like as the second eldest and the oldest daughter, that we could have had a real good storyline with that, right? And I feel like the not only the emotional distress and strengthening that she got when she awakened her stand, she really could have been a real heavy hitter, in my opinion, for the main cast. And she could have been pushed. Is what I'm trying to say. She could have been pushed to the main event, or at least the semi-main, because I feel like Jobin had a important role as the eldest son, right, and the heir of the family. But I feel like she could have had an equally important role as the second oldest, as more specifically the oldest daughter. And that whole arc that she went through with Vitamin C was raw. And I really hate that, like, you got betrayed, then you realize your own self-importance and how much your family mean to you, and you unlock your stand and all that, and no more. I just feel
Mm.
so blue balled from that.
Mm.
I feel like there could have been way more done. I feel like she could have been in the spotlight.
But she's
Shit.
fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
She's a fucking ditz. No, but your point's well taken, especially because she's like the oldest daughter. I heard you say it. I got you. I'm caught up.
Yeah,
Her stand was
but
kind of raw too.
I just feel so blue balled by that because I felt like that arc was gonna like do more. Like, but I guess not.
It is what it is. All right, bet.
Walking hard. Oh, it's my turn.
Yes, sir.
Um, might be a little surprising, but I feel like Johnny should have got some highlight more than what he did because when we got told of like how he went back to America for somebody other than himself, I was conflicted because I was like, bro, that was dumb. But at the same time, it was like, this is a little bit different from the Johnny that I know. Like, normally in part seven, almost everything that he did was for his own interest. Like, when Gyro's life was on the line, this nigga was literally not about to fucking give up the corpse pieces because he wanted to be able to walk again. But like here, with his wife like suffering from illness, like he didn't even hesitate. He was like, "Bro, let me go get back them corpse pieces. I'm
What
gonna
if I
heal her
always
ass
what
up."
if I always said about Johnny? Where is his best character moment?
In part eight,
And there it is.
yeah,
I can respect that. Respect how he went out. Really did. Do you have sorry, let me cut you off. Do you want to elaborate on that? Sorry that you're still going.
no, no, I said pretty much what I want to say. Like that, the
So
way his character changed. Like I wish he could have whatchamacallit, shown more of an interaction with his family, like as part eight started, instead of just starting with part eight with Josuke coming out the ground with fucking multiple sets of testicles. He could have just started with Johnny and then flash forward a little bit. That would have been better for me.
Okay. Do you have one now, Joni?
Yeah.
Or do you want to
Kind
wait
of
another
shared.
one? Go ahead.
No, like I share the same sentiments as Pat, but I was gonna say Toru because I feel like we could have found out more about him and the rock humans in general.
Hmm.
Like I understand his motivation for wanting the plant, but like I feel like we could have got more of him throughout the whole story instead of like just us seeing him like look like grooming a young Yasuo or him just like um essentially like stalking her in some sense at the hospital whenever we saw him. Well, he got introduced and like in the final arc where he was just chilling in the forest, just staring at her with his headphones in. Like I feel like we didn't get enough of him, of like his personality and stuff.
Whoa, I thought I was unmuted. Okay, fair enough. I think my only other answer, like I don't think it's to me. There's nothing to say. Like I want to say Jobin, but Jobin is a primary antagonist. I don't have to say nothing about him, and I think he's a great character. I thought he was really good. Um, my only other one is kind of a mixture of Holly and Kato because I do think this part has a little bit of a theme to do with mothers because
Mm.
Josuke's mother was bad, Yasuo's mother was bad. Um, the complication with this family and then Holly and Kira and stuff. Like I think there's a bit of a matriarch theme there with like some of the mothers and whatnot. And I think that Kato, all things considered, I really wish we did get more, but I felt like she had a very strong presence despite not being there long. Just because of what they did and how they treated her, and then when she came back. So Kato's a character that I was hoping maybe would get a little more fleshed out, but that's my only other answer. But I stand her. So I had no problem with her bodying them little burgers for what they did to her kid. I had no problem with it. Zero. No, I visit her every day in prison. I'm there every day. What's up? What's good with you? So that's just me though, but I'm a bad person. So okay. How do you think this part will be viewed looking back in your opinion? And do you think a binge read? What the fuck was that? Binge read would be better, or do you think the monthly experience was fine? Just out of curiosity. Start with the first part. We'll go to the monthly part after. Actually, start with the first part. How do you think this part will be viewed looking back in your opinion? Like,
It's gonna get elevated.
I think people are gonna be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, this is one of the better parts, one of the worst parts, somewhere in the middle." Like, you know.
I'm gonna get elevated. I think if our blue truth of this is going to be another trilogy, and this is the first in the trilogy, right? I feel like it's gonna get elevated
I'll say second.
because the only people who hate freaking Phantom Blood are anime owners, right? And
Aha.
they don't get
In their
rights,
opinion,
right?
yeah, they have no rights. Their opinion doesn't matter.
Because I've literally been reading JoJo since I was in sixth grade. So from then all the way up until when Stardust Crusaders came out, because that's when they actually jumped on the anime. Because when part 1 and 2 was animated, they was not watching.
That's a fact.
They just mass caught up when Stardust Crusaders was airing.
Hmm.
I did not see no Phantom Blood whack opinions like that. So I feel like it's going to get elevated if it truly is a trilogy. If we write a trilogy and all of this, what we saw in JoJolion comes full circle, yeah, I feel like it's going to get elevated. Also, I have another point, but I need to freaking look it up. So somebody else, please speak while I'm doing it.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with Sammy. I feel like over time, people will read this and appreciate it even more because it just has so much going for it. Like as you're reading it, it's the most mysterious JoJo part of all of them because you have the whole identity, like unknown identity plot going forward in the beginning, and then you have some really intense stand battles. Like
Thank
it's
you for
it's
the follow.
multiple types of stand battles where it's like they're straight up brawling in the street or they're running away from the enemy because they can't fucking beat them in that particular area, or they're staying put so the enemy can come to them because they can't go to the enemy. Like it's a lot of creativity that goes into Jojolion, and what you call it, like the cast isn't too big where people can't remember like who's who. Like it's focused primarily on the Higashikata family, Yasuo and Josuke, and then like the flashback of the reveals for the unknown identity is like some of the best shit I've ever read. So I definitely feel like over time people are gonna be like, yo, this shit probably on par with Steel Ball Run because it is. I hate when people feel talk like Steel Ball Run is completely untouchable and nothing even comes close.
It happens with part 4 and 7. I would say where this where most people like it's just somewhat somehow just clear automatically. No, it's not. We could talk about it because I can make a case for any part. Really, if well, I'm not 5, but yeah.
So yeah, I got my point, right? So this is the single most interesting thing about the part to me. So I there was a article, I don't a news article interview, whatever, right? Where they asked Araki where did he come up with the name Jojolia, right? He said he got it from Evangelion because Evangelion has a meaning, and he liked that meaning, so he wanted to apply it to JoJo. So I'm gonna read to you the two meanings of the words, right? So apparently, Evangelion refers to the gospel in Christianity translated from the Greek word. I'm not trying to pronounce that very well, sorry. Meaning good news. Evangelion may also refer to in Maccabeism, a major text known as Evangelion, also known as the Gospel of Mani. And Jojolian means the line in the title Jojolia means things like blessed thing, evangelistic, and commemorative seal. There's a word from ancient Greek or something like that. By combining this word with Jojo, I've met. Oh, he actually just took the fucking quote I was referring to. By combining this word with Jojo, I've meant for the title to signify the existence of the protagonist Josuke in this world. So, if that comes full circle in this supposed trilogy, right? I feel like it's going to get elevated, greatly elevated, especially when people just straight binge the trilogy from start to finish and they could actually see what Araki was going for piece by piece. Yeah, I feel like it's going to get elevated.
Gioni.
I really think it just depends. Like, if you're a JoJo diehard, you're gonna love it. But like with anime onlys, I don't understand it. Like, I already know you guys don't value their opinions, but they're probably gonna shit on it and call it boring
I don't.
because I know Part Five is probably the king. I feel like in most people's eyes, like overall, like they fuck with
And
Part
that was
Five.
a part that wasn't heralded as a great part when I was reading it. So yeah,
Because I've heard it JoJoian being like described as Scooby Doo. Um,
Scooby Doo.
so
Scooby Doo,
yes,
Scooby
Oh,
Dooby
because the
what?
mystery.
Lady
Yeah,
Oblada?
okay, I get it.
Lady
um,
Oblada?
but I feel like it'll be successful. It just like really depends on how people like feel with the ending of the Part Six anime. I feel like um, if they take that like well, I feel like they wouldn't mind the ending of Part Eight if they feel it ended abruptly, like some of us did.
I was an anime only and I love Phantom Blood. Part 1 is far too disrespected. I don't even get it. Like Jonathan was such a solid. He said solid bloke. Hamon was stupid and Dio was awesome. I preach it. Phantom Blood definitely solid. Hamon was an interesting power system. I think my problem with the Phantom Blood disrespect is the lack of perspective in totality. I don't excuse older stuff for like, not doing things great, but it was an 80s power system that worked phenomenally for the story that it was. It's pretty basic, but it worked. Hamon worked. The Art of Mystics worked. Sendo out. I think Dia was an extremely good draw. And he's the polar opposite of Jonathan, who's a product of his environment and his time period, which is why he acts the way he acts with the gentleman. People are like, oh, he's lame, but it's like you're mad for no reason. Like it makes perfect sense if you consider the time period and where he's fucking living. He's English. He's from England. He's rich as fuck, right? And it's just like how do you how like this is the launching pad. This is the launching point. This is the foundation piece. You don't get anything else that we get without this part happening. This is the beginning. This is what everything else is built up upon. But then again, I don't think this is something exclusive to JoJo. You hear me say this a lot. Like when I wanted to read Kingdom, and they're like, "It doesn't get good until the Coalition arc." I'm like, Kingdom was good from the first arc. What is wrong with you guys? Like, what's with the disrespect of the beginning of series? East Blue is not that good. You're an idiot. Like, I think it's just a common thing where like every series has that arc, that moment, that part that everyone is very hype about, and they just want to get there. So they try to just dismiss everything before, like, oh no, you don't have to do part 1 and 2. It only gets good at part 3 because they don't even use how one anymore. Like that's just how they
Instant
think. So
gratification era.
so yeah, they ugly. I had to say Loki's from England. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And do you think as a binge read this is gonna be better? And how was the weekly experience for you? I'm sorry, I said the weekly, monthly. I'm sorry. I honestly thought the monthly experience for this was fine. Like I still enjoyed it every month, coming to talk about it, and but I do think that it's probably gonna be better as a binge read. But that being said, the end of part 7, but really only part 8 is the first part that I got into where I wasn't like it wasn't already done. So yeah.
Well, my answer might be a little biased because I never subscribed to the whole "I'ma let it stack" mentality.
Okay.
Right. So, like, I have absolutely no issue with reading ongoings. Oh, I got 4 ongoings. I'm currently reading 4 ongoings. I gotta drop one. Oh, that shit ongoing. I ain't gonna read it. I never subscribe to any of that shit that them clowns be talk about on the timeline. I have absolutely zero issue with reading an ongoing series. Right. So, the monthly experience is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. Now, as a binge, yeah, I could see people being hype beasts for binging it and saying how it was so much better and how they can't fathom having to wait monthly to read this, so on and so forth. But monthly is gonna it was fine. And when JoJo Lands comes out, it's gonna be a fine again.
Fair enough. Anyone else want to chime in on that?
Um, yeah, I agree. The monthly read was a new experience for me. I'm not really good with monthly series in the past. I haven't kept up with any
This is the only one.
because it's because it's like the details like leak out from my brain and the wait between the next chapter. But like with Jajolion, I was hyper focused. So like I would read the chapter and then like I'd be like, damn, I gotta wait another month. The next month come, I read the first page. I was like, wait, what happened? And then like after like 2 pages, like, oh yeah, I remember everything now. And then like it was like rinse repeat. Like, damn, gotta wait a whole month. But it was exciting. Like I was over here with y'all trying to think what's he's gonna do next. And the plot was moving pretty at a good pace, I'd say.
Until I wasn't. He said, "All right, we got."
Until the very end. Until the very end.
Until he's like, I had enough. We're done here. You want to chime in on anything, Joni? On that?
Uh, I pretty much share the same sentiments as you guys, really.
All right. Now, okay, so I'm gonna stay on you. What's the name the best and or your favorite thing about Part 8?
Hmm. I probably have to say the stands.
Stands. That's interesting. Like you think they're like really
Like
well
the
well detailed and stuff.
design.
Design, okay.
Yeah, I would probably say the design and detail that went into it for most of the stands.
Okay.
Like Paisley Park, I like how he kind of like adapted the stands as time moved forward to like with the technology pretty much. Like he upgraded the stands to fit the technology. I really like that. Since we came from Stillball Run.
That's true, actually. That's a good point. I never even thought about the technology blend. Actually, I'm thinking about it. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. Simi,
Um, the premise,
to the concept.
yeah. So a simple fact that we hundreds of years from Steelborn Run. The fact that you got these thing called wall eyes. I really feel like side note, but the thing that would have elevated the Rock niggas, for example, or something that I would have done, make them the ones responsible for the war lines, or something like that. Make them responsible for the like just the strange happening, the geography of Morioh. But anyways, the war lines and Josuke in the dirt, right? Like that entire premise in the mud, literally. That entire premise, just mad Nikki said, "I don't know who I am. I got this hat with a nigga name on it. I don't know who I. He got no clothes on. That's raw. Like it's just so much mystery and what the hell is going on. Where could this possibly lead?
A lot of immediate intrigue.
Yeah, hooked first page. And what the fuck going on? Type shit. So yeah, the premise for me.
Okay. Zodiac said the stands were really fun, and how they concluded was badass. The idea of fusing people with a real was really interesting too. No, that's a good point. What about you, Pat?
Yeah, like for me, it's also the murder mystery. I mean, murder mystery. The unknown identity. I'm mixing up my Morioh jokes. The unknown identity of fucking Josuke. Like this was the first JoJo where like this thing was like, I don't know who I am. I'm like, bro, what? What do you mean? And then they're like, oh, he got multiple testicles. Like, why is that a thing? Like, what's going on here? Like at first, I thought he was just being like Araki, like being strange, but no, that actually has some significance to it because like he had two tongues and fucking
His eyes were
two
like,
fucking
yeah.
irises in his eyes. Yeah, so I was like, okay, this is there has to be something to this. Like nobody is just born so fucking discombobulated. And he came out the fucking dirt. Like I was like, what the hell?
Hey man,
But yeah, like
he
the
got it
whole
out the
stretch,
mud.
literally. But the whole stretch of that flashback where he was getting close to discovering who he was, and like they go back to Kira and then the conflict with Tamaki and the Aphex brothers, and then the present day he's fighting the Aphex brothers. Like that shit was just so fire to me, and especially like when he finally uh gets in close contact with Holly again. That's one of the most emotional moments in like the entire series for me.
I feel it. My answer for this isn't interesting. It's just Yasuo, but
Ah,
the there's a question later that I can kind of ties into this that I'm going to elaborate on. But yeah, that's just for my answer is just Yasuo. It's nothing. It's nothing crazy. She's my favorite thing about the part. So
A wife wisdom. It gets us all.
now I want to say this. Now, what's something about this part that it had to be one thing that kind of let you down, that was disappointing to you. Could be something at the ending, an unresolved plot point, the rock niggas, whatever it is. Like, what's something about this part that you thought was like a bit of a letdown?
Yeah, that's actually perfect. I feel like the biggest letdown or critique I have of this part is that I feel like there could have been more, just more flashbacks,
mm,
more setting up. Well, not even setting up, more exploration, if you will, more character personalities. We could have got so like instead of the tie-in for Steel Ball Run being literally 2 chapters, I feel like that could have been his whole arc, a whole arc by itself.
mm,
I
mm-hmm,
feel it could have
mm.
been way more than that. I feel like uh, it's so annoying too because the only character who got fully fleshed out, in my opinion, or at least in my requirements, in my biases over the years, is fucking Jobin. I mean, not Jobin. Sorry, fucking what's that fucking nigga's name? What the fuck is his name? See, I hate that nigga so much. I just completely forgot his name. We had just talking about it.
Which name?
Um,
Toru?
wow. Nah, you know who I'm talking about because we all don't like him in here.
Joshu?
Oh, Joshu.
There you go. Okay, I don't even dislike Jobin like that. I mean, he weird, but I don't dislike
I
Jobin at
like
all.
Jobin.
Yeah, Joe Shoot. That's the nigga who I'm talking about. Why did he get so much screen time?
He got a lot.
He got a lot. And I feel like everybody should have got that. Steel Ball Runtime could have got that. Freaking Kato should have got that. The rest of the family should have got that. Joshu got it.
Yeah, that nigga had two separate arcs by himself.
You see what I'm talking about?
I just thought about it.
That's my main the Rock nigga should have got that instead of random tidbits.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Joshu is the only one who got, well, at least what I'm used to, or what Araki has placed but before us across all the other parts. Joshu got that treatment and nobody else did. That's my complaint. I could feel like there could have been more flashbacks with Kira and Jose Fumi, more flashbacks with the rest of Higashika's family, more flashbacks with Steel Bar on Tie-In, more flashbacks or exploration with the Rock niggas. But Joshu got it. That's my letdown.
I feel that. I feel that. Jody, what about you?
Um, I probably have to say the same thing. Like it really felt like it ended abruptly and like where Lucy, like how in the final chapter how she saw Toru, like I feel like that's gonna lead to something in part 9, but like it kind of seems like what was the point of showing him in the final chapter? And I feel like there's some stuff that needs to be explained still that was like didn't get resolved, and like the flash forward wasn't needed at all. It created a lot of hype, but like he retconned it essentially, and I don't know. It felt like he changed his mind halfway through the final arc, and like he felt like he needed to go in a different direction.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, just feel like there's just too many loose ends. That's how I feel. He introduced a lot of stuff in part 8, and then like he didn't wrap up all of them. Especially like that fucking guardrail shit. Like that just sprung up out of nowhere at the final chapter. I was like, what is going on here? like, like why is he fucking eating people in the guardrail? Why was this not relevant throughout the entirety of fucking part 8? I don't know. Jojo Lance might answer some of our questions, so I'm just holding out and waiting to see.
Okay, so I think everything everyone said is well to take in. You know, a little more extra stuff for you to flesh stuff out and everything. I think I think I'm just gonna speak from a personal standpoint for whatever reason, and I understand this is me. I don't like being the guy that being like, hey, I had this expectation, this thing didn't happen, therefore bad on the creators. Like I'm not that
Mm.
guy, but so I needed more Kato, bro. I just needed more. That was
Yeah,
I needed more. When she came through to us, it was a moment. Was raw. It was cool. She sacrificed herself. You know, I don't know, man. I just thought that was gonna be so much more important. Like her role here. Like I don't know, dude. Like there's a problem that
Inca
low key she wanted to
Mesame
become the matriarch of
Potatoes.
the family and get Norisuke out of here type beat. You know, like I thought there'd be more smoke with the sibling, with her kids, and her because of what happened and stuff. Obviously, her and Jobin's relationship to me is really dope and everything, which is why I think that like the kind of mother theme here is really good. But that's kind of like my personal gripe with it. But I do agree with like the ending. To me, it just kind of like it's just like okay and roll credits. I'm like I want no go back, go back. I wanted more of that. Like so, that's really all I could say about that. But the ending is a little jarring. It just kind of comes suddenly. I don't think anyone was truly ready for the wrap up to be so sudden. That's basically what my biggest issue was. So we'll leave it at that. But the next question that I have here is what I want to kind of tie in to like my other thing about what's my favorite thing about part 8. So this question here obviously for us is what makes part 8 unique and different from the other 7 parts. And I would argue this is literally the most bizarre JoJo part. I think he really leaned into this shit being fucking weird. Like JoJo's been over the top, zany, eccentric, and kind of crazy from the jump. I really don't think any of the 7 parts are as weird as this part. Like off rip from him being in the mud, 2 testicles, 2 to 500 tongues, like it's just a
Mhm.
very strange part. Like, it's something as simple as like I just remember the panel like Yasuo just looking and then she just trying to lick her elbow. Why? Like just very just strange JoJo things, and to me, like the way that Josuke looks, he's like a fusion of 2 people. He's got the sailor hat, midriff out. Like I just found this part to really lean more into the bizarre part than maybe the adventure part, maybe the JoJo part, but that bizarreness, I think he cranked it up to 10. And it was at like a 9 before, like 8. I don't know. So to me, that's what makes this part truly unique to me. Though I would argue it's the way that it's presented itself and structure is a little different from the other parts, from the lead, from the antagonist, from the perspective, which Jimmy brought up. I thought about earlier, but I would just argue that this is the strangest JoJo part.
I would agree with that. I would think that besides the whole freaking "I'm two niggas" thing, I would say that the thing that makes it the most unique out of them is the fact, just as I said earlier, the fact that the story is not told from the mainly of the perspective from the perspective of the main character. It's told by other people, third parties viewing the main character. And that's what makes it so different from the rest of them. Because, like, of course, there was chapters and scenes where the main character isn't in it in the other parts, but it is mainly told through the main character in the other parts. I don't think there's any argument against that. Versus here, Josuke, he has a purpose. Like there's an actual goal, so we're not just dicking around. There's a purpose, there's a meaning, but we're not even following it strictly through the eyes of the person who needs the answers. We literally following Yasuo the majority of the time, and her interactions with him, and her confusion of why she's so entangled with this nigga that was in the dirt. So I feel like that's what makes it so unique versus its siblings, if you will.
Pat, Joni, any you want to?
Uh, mm.
Hey, yeah, I
I'm,
can have dead air on the street. Hey, yeah, make it clap.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm,
hey, do you echo our sentiments? Let's get it. Hey. Like I just gotta do shit.
I'm trying to think because it's like, mm,
What about you,
yeah, like
Joni?
between no between part 7 and part 5, like I agree with what you said earlier. Now, like this shit is very bizarre. Like the way the approach to the stand battles alone, like it wasn't the like you have remote control stands. Okay, yes, like that's been a concept since part 4, but like now we have stands that literally have their own autonomy, like separate of the user, and they were like literally fighting the stand while the stand user is just doing whatever he wants. It was like fighting 2 niggas. So that was a concept that like we had never seen before. So I think he really hopped into his creativity bag with Jolion.
Yeah, Joni.
I guess I'll just piggyback off your guys' points. Like, with the weirdness, I feel like the rock people in general, like how they're all just crusty and ugly, and like, bro,
Wow.
they wait, hold on, like he even introduced like a little man, like an old little man that looked like a baby,
Oh,
and he was
Ozobi.
smashing a woman. Um, and then
Poor
he
Tom.
had like that. What was that one guy? He had like no teeth and he had no arms or legs.
Oh, is that Ojiro? I don't even remember who that was. Is that Ojiro? The guy with no fingers. I remember talking about.
No, like he. I thought he had like no limbs.
Oh, wasn't that Blue Hawaii guy? Zombie nigga? It might really be.
Yeah,
You know what? It's the 21st century. I can look it up.
Is that Dolomite?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you know.
think so.
Okay. Dolomite.
Like the whole concept of the rock people in general is just goofy, and like I didn't think like he could make something
Masai.
crazier than the Pillar Man.
The Dolomites. Blue Hawaii. Sorry, oh shit, I'm not muted. My bad. I thought I was muted. Yeah, so I guess the last thing I really have to ask is actually what I'm gonna read the comment real quick. I think you said something interesting. I lost it though. Did I lose it? I lost it in the. Okay. I think you asked me. I think wasn't at the point of the reset. Was it for it to get more bizarre? I don't necessarily know if that was a point of the reset. As more as I think Araki wanted to maybe go back in time and just have a bit of a fresh start with what he could do with JoJo, but also pull from his past experiences and start fresh with the alternate timeline. I don't necessarily think he did it to make it more bizarre because I wouldn't argue that part 7 is really any more or less bizarre than the other 6 parts. I think 8 is where he cranks it up to like, whoa. So, yeah. That's just my opinion. But yeah, what's next? Do you have any thoughts, any predictions, any inquiries, anything about JoJo Lands, perhaps? Like what do you think? Like,
Twin protagonists.
say what?
We're gonna have twins as the protags.
Oh shit!
Where you get that from? That sounds a little
I don't know.
specific.
No, that's what I saw people on Twitter say. Like a girl and a boy, or two girls. I don't know. I just hope we either get a female villain, like main villain, or a female protagonist again.
Vince back.
That may be the protagonist, Araki. My midriff
Oh
is
yeah,
fabulous. I'm out here, bro. Come to
we need another
Toronto.
black character, man.
Post pandemic. You know what I mean? let me
He
let me
said,
punch some niggas.
damn. Wow.
Yo, some of these guys, people I talk to, they have so many Panorama, Panini. I don't know. So Pandemic is mine. I seen the Hall Horse. No, was it Hall? Was it no? Was it Hall Horse and something? I said I don't even want that.
Yeah, almost a Josuke. Yeah,
I don't know if I want
spin
that.
off.
Nah, keep that. If it's a spin-off, like a part 8.5, yeah, if that's the part 8. I don't need. You know what though? I'll have to see how the current universe Hall Horse is and the Emperor. Yeah, me. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know damn well you know better. Predictions, JoJo. Come on now, though.
All right. Any final comments? Yeah, we can't predict
Final
Rocky. He's
comments.
not a predict. He can't do it. It's not possible.
All I'm gonna say is next time when JoJo Lands ends, whenever it ends, let's tie up some loose strings.
There it is. But thank you guys for coming through. Like I said, so we're technically now officially done with part 8 and the 8 parts of the podcast. But so usually what's gonna happen now is like when we come, it'll probably be more anime focused because of the Anime Stone Ocean. But I still have a lot of random miscellaneous topics and hypothetical stand battles and situations, what ifs, and all that stuff, and tons of stuff about JoJo to still speak about. I actually have not gotten a chance too much to talk about his book, Araki's book, manga, practice and theory and stuff too. So I want to get into that when I can. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us for today. You guys have any last thing to say? Anything to promote?
JoJo
December. I'm on Poochie's ass. Just wait for it.
Hey, December. I'm on Jolene's clit. You're.